In this video, I want to share my journey from being a broke and broken 29-year-old to being financially free and sincerely excited to wake up every single morning. And my aim is simply to show you that what has helped me go from the depressed cookie monster that I was to, well, honestly living the life of my dreams. I'm currently 35 years old, I'm fit, and I get to travel the world with my gorgeous wife. And to top it all off, I'm currently building my third six-figure business in only 5 years. Now, that may sound great and everything, but when I was 29 years old, it was quite a different story. So I followed the normal conventional life path. I did the school, the university, got a good job, and I thought I was set. But that was the biggest lie. So at 29 years old, I had $0 to my name. I passionately hated my job and I was overweight. As you can see, quite the cookie monster over there. I felt behind in life, and I think a lot of people can resonate with this. You see people reaching milestones that you thought by now you would have hit. And deep down, I had the sense that there had to be more to life than just this survival. I was essentially held together by cookies, antidepressants, and ADHD medication. And that was essentially the only thing that kept me going from one day to the next. I was severely depressed and I just honestly hated my life. I was so severely broken. I was on the preface of 30 and I felt like my life was just an absolute disaster. Now, fast forward 5 years and this is currently me. I've built 2 six-figure businesses and I'm going on number 3. And I did all of this while working full-time. I'm currently traveling the world with my absolutely beautiful wife. I'm fit and I got rid of all my medications. No antidepressants, no ADHD medication. And to be honest, I'm excited to get up every single morning and to build my little mini empire, helping others achieve the same. Now, the big question you probably have is, why do I want to share this? Why is this important to you? Well, the only reason I got to from where I was to where I am now is because others helped me. I was able to connect to their story. I was able to find out what worked for them and apply it in my own life. Now, I have full respect that everyone's journey is vastly different, but there are key elements that you can take from other people's lives and implement into your own to achieve the same results that they got. I know it's a cliche saying, but success leaves clues. And that is the only reason why I was able to transform my life. So at the start of my journey, this is me at rock bottom. I remember my rock bottom moments. I just got promoted to accounting manager and I got above industry pay. I had a secure job, I was making good money, so I had to be happy, right? Well, fast forward 2 months and I was lying on the floor with my chest tightening and I couldn't breathe. I was so sure that I was gonna die. I actually laid there on the floor, calling the life insurance company just to make sure that I left something for my wife. Turns out, I just had my first severe panic attack. I was working myself to death only to pay the bills and had nothing left for myself at the end of the day. And then it hit me. I became the poster child for the overworked millennial that is literally just living a life of survival. Now, there are 2 key lessons that absolutely changed everything for me. By that point in my life, I started a couple of ventures, but everything failed. And the reason that failed is 2 rules that I only realized a bit later. Number 1 was the 1% rule. Now, the 1% rule essentially means that the only way we can actually achieve something is by getting skills and then practicing those skills, getting better at it. But the thing is, you're only going to get 1% better every day. Now, at the start, that is horrible because it feels like you're going nowhere. But over time, when it compounds, the results are incredible. And for those of you who are familiar with the exponential graph, this is exactly what happens. At the start, you put in the same amount of effort, there's no growth, no growth, no growth, and then suddenly everything explodes. And we see this so much with these overnight successes where they just seem to hit all the success within a couple of weeks or months. But what we don't see is that 1%. We don't see that first piece where they just put in effort, and got very little results for that effort. So that is why I call out this little danger zone. It's super easy at the start because then you have motivation. And at the end, it's easy because for every unit of energy that you expel, you get a lot of results. But this little piece, once you've put in a lot of work and you don't see the results, this is where a lot of people fail. So this is one key concept that I had to understand. You have to push through that first piece to actually get better at something. You have to believe in the 1% rule that you will get better if you put in enough time and you do the right actions. Lesson number 2 is that the lone wolf doesn't work. I think there's so many people that romanticizes this lone wolf mentality where you just have to hustle and work hard and you're going to make it. If you break down a lot of these autobiographies of these crazy successful people, no one did it alone. One thing I can promise you is no one did it alone. Yet we always think we're different. We're going to make it work. Society was built by us working together, working from other people's expertise, essentially expertise hacking. So don't do it alone. If you want to build something, if you want to become a great tennis player, want to start a business, become financially free, don't go it alone. Get a community, get a coach, get experts, get a mastermind. Just whatever you do, don't do it alone. So what these two principles told me is essentially, number one, don't do it alone, like we talked about. So my first company, what I started, was Lambda Automation. I partnered with someone that was incredible at robotics automation, but didn't really understand the business side. And because all my expertise was from the business side, we decided to partner up and build something great. And we were able to build that small little startup into an international robotics automation company. After that, I got into real estate. Same principle. I knew nothing about real estate. But one thing I did know how to do is find an expert in the field and extract their knowledge, use their knowledge. Are you seeing a trend here? So essentially, I partnered up with a guy called Mike. I watched a ridiculous amount of his YouTube videos, and we decided to buy a house together. I would figure out how to get the financing, he would get the deal, and our partnership started. So not only did I do financially pretty well on this, I got to learn all the ins and the outs. All those ins and outs that you're not going to learn in a book or a YouTube video. That kind of knowledge that you only get when you're in the industry, when you get your hands dirty. But also, I saved myself years of mistakes and struggles because I expert hacked. I got someone that already knew what he was doing, and I just built on that. And all of this I did while working full-time as a consultant. So one thing I want to speak to here is it's not about the amount of time you have. It's about how you use that time. So it is possible to do this while working, and I want to show you how. Before we move on, there's one core concept that I really want to focus on. The only reason I was able to co-start Lambda Automation or start in the real estate game is I learned how to expert hack. I connected to the knowledge of experts and I built on that. I think so many people, and myself included, for essentially my whole 20s, we want to do it alone. We want to figure out everything, and it's almost impossible. You are going through an immense struggle that's unnecessary, and you're wasting so much time. The key is finding the right expert, mentor, coach, what have you, and saving yourself years. So hopefully that makes sense. And because I did all this work, I actually got one of the bigger payouts a couple of weeks ago. It was October 23rd, and this is just an extract from my bank account where I closed the deal for $158,000. By no means $10, $20, $30 million, but what can you do with the extra $158,000? But even better, what can you do with the skill set that can provide you $158,000? And of course, this is just an example, but I want to show you. If I can go from a 29-year-old, fat, depressed, horrible human being that's broken and just depressed, then you can do it too. It's about following the right steps. It's about implementing the right process consistently. It's about not being a lone wolf and believing in the 1% rule and just keep going. I promise you, you can do it as well. Now, it does still take a hell of a lot of work. If you think this is a process where you just click a button to get $1 million, you are sorely mistaken, and the rest of this video won't help you. But if you're willing to put in the work, there is a way for you to achieve this for yourself. Now, the work is hard. It is brutal at times. But one thing I can promise you, the results are even better. What I currently get to do is I get to travel the world on my own terms. I get to decide where I want to go, when I want to go, and especially who I want to be there with. So you'll see this is us at the Caribbean, Belgium, Amsterdam, South Africa, all across the world, just having the most incredible experience because of the work that I did. Now, I fully understand everyone's cup of tea isn't traveling, but just having that financial freedom, just having that choice, it absolutely changes your life. I fully understand that money isn't everything, but the person that said money doesn't buy happiness clearly never had to live for 3 months on soup and bread because he physically did not have enough money to buy anything else. I promise you, a bit of money would have made me a lot happier. And that brings me to my next venture. Now, I have been incredibly fortunate to go from that absolutely broken 29-year-old to living the absolute incredible life that I get to live today. And I wanted to teach other people how I did it in the exact way where other people teach me how they did it and enabled me to build the life that I have today. So what I decided to do is to open up a Skool community called Beyond Coaching. Now, this is absolutely free, no cost. And everything you need to build your own coaching business, essentially sharing your expertise, is in that free program. I also create tailored 10 to 50,000 per month coaching businesses for my clients. Now, the big thing I want to focus on is we focus on building tailored businesses. I see so many coaches or gurus, experts out there teaching the cookie cutter method. The way you're going to get leads, the way you're going to nurture your leads, the way you're going to deliver is vastly different than the person next to you. We all have different strengths. Some of us are technical. Other people are just smooth when they talk and you just want to listen to them. And I know that's not me, but people are vastly different in how they do things. So we create a tailored business around our experts' strong points. Not just giving them a cookie cutter method and just seeing them fail. There's a reason why 90 to 95% of people fail in this industry. It's not necessarily them. They're just applying the wrong model for their business. So what I'm essentially doing in Beyond Coaching is I'm taking my past 5 years of experiences, everything that worked and all the mistakes. So more importantly, the things that didn't work. And I'm teaching this. So a process that took me 5 to, well, essentially 15 years to actually figure out, it can take you a couple of months. This is where I implore you to get started, whether it's with Beyond Coaching or a different coach or a different mentor or a different mastermind, doesn't matter. Decide what you want in life and go after it with all your vigor. You deserve the life of your dreams. Life is so short. I know it's cliche, but it is so short. I hope to see you in our free Skool community, Beyond Coaching. But if not, you got this.